What is going on, all you amazing viewers to play later? How we doing today? I know, we've got some sunlight over here. Just casting more white light on the salt and pepper beard. But still, whoo, we got an interesting one for you today. With the Death Guard coming back in a rounding resurgence, I figured it was time to pull the trigger on one of my favorite Chaos Primarchs. Mortarion is finally here on the channel. I'm going to break all this down for you in just a moment. You know how we do things here on the channel. We have to get the adulting out of the way before we can play. So first up is a word from our unofficial sponsor.
So there I was, 23 years old, prime of my life. I woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and my hair was thinning. It was all falling out. It wasn't until I discovered this one solution that changed everything. My first initial thought was, it's gotta be genetics, right? It's not my fault, this is genetic. Go and find out. I'm not the only one dealing with thinning hair and confidence issues. And it was nuts because we started to change everything in our routine.
We started looking at what we were putting in our bodies, what we were eating, how much water we were intaking, and then we started working out and taking care of ourselves, but still something was missing.
But also what we put on our body is drastically important to our skin and hair health. So we ditched all of those chemical filled products. We started using healthy, organic ingredients and took it upon myself to start creating these organic ingredient products to help people. I have a solution for you. Ditch all of those chemical filled products and grab something that's organic, natural, handmade, something that your family will thank you and your health will thank you. Make the switch today.
Great man, great company. Seriously, make sure you mess up that link right down below. Gonna take you right to Johnny6.com and abuse the ever-loving F out of that viewer discount code that Johnny is giving you guys. Seriously, it's good stuff. I religiously use Johnny Slicks all the time, but still, okay. Now, I'm filming this one on Friday, May 9th, 2025. Currently on Amazon, Morty is $144.50. I know, it's a Primarch. It's a big model. He's huge. Okay, now, I am not gonna do a Death Guard army. I'm not. I have always liked Mortarion, all right? I really have. Out of all the Trader Primarchs, his story gripped me the hardest. Especially in the Plague Wars, the Plague War trilogy, and that Horus Heresy book that really focused on him. I think it was number 54, the Buried Knife. Please don't quote me. Buried Knife, Broken Knife, something like that. He fell to chaos basically because the Emperor killed his adoptive daddy when Morty couldn't. So the Emperor stood in, slayed the warlord of the planet, you know, the Death Planet, because he was about to kill Morty. And I went, wow. Not to mention Mortarion's best friend, who at that point, his name was Typhon, had been possessed by a demon and become Typhus and helped Mortarion convert. So when you look at the stuff that's happened to Mortarion, like in the Plague War trilogy, how basically the Emperor, through Guilliman, beat Mortarion down, walked right into Nurgle's garden, and burned it to the ground. And essentially, Mortarion got thrown into Nurgle's house, and the door slammed behind him. So you're like, is Mortarion alive? Is he good? What's going on here? You've got a Primarch who is a demon Primarch. I mean, come on. He's huge. The butterfly wings coming out of his back. You know, Silence and Lantern that he's had forever. Silence is his demon-possessed scythe, which also made me giggle during the Plague Wars when I think it was Rodriguez who was giving Mortarion crap. And Mortarion's like, I've already got one demon crammed in there. I bet I can fit another. And Rodriguez was like, I'm good. Peace. You know, his plasma whatever called Lantern. Which, from what I understand by looking at the instructions, you can switch hands. So I think that's kind of cool. But I finally pulled the trigger on him because I've always wanted to paint him. I did a Typhus a little bit ago when I really wanted to paint some weird chaos figures just for fun. You know, I did Titus and Karn. Oh, Typhus and Karn. I didn't like the way some things ended up with Typhus, so recently I went back in for the first time ever. I painted over a sealed miniature. I'm going to do another video on that slightly, but still. Alright, so let's get to the weird unboxing here, okay? Because you can get, I mean, just looking at this, you can go, oh my god, that's going to be scary to put together. Just by looking at it, It's not going to be as bad as Angry Ron. I had so many problems with Angron, it wasn't even funny. Alright. So right off the bat, you get your instruction book. And I'm kind of thankful that a lot of it's in color. Because like I said, you've got two ways you can put Morty's, well, his arms. Which I think is neat. And I'll be honest, for the record, I am caught. I really want to do the old style Death Guard muddy white armor, but I didn't do it with Typhus, so I don't know. I may go with my Death Guard green recipe that I did for Typhus. I'm not sure, but that'll be another video. So when you're going through, okay, basically blue is what you're going to be working on, and everywhere you see yellow is where they're going to want you to put plastic glue or super glue. My standard rule, and I'll be flat out honest, unless it's resin, I use Army Painter plastic glue. It's worked really well for me. The adhesive time isn't that bad. If you make a mistake, it's not done there forever. So it gives you a little bit of time that you can move around. This, for the record, may also be the first one I put together in sub-assembly so I can paint things a little bit easier. Okay? Do what works best for you, and that's the easiest way I can say that. He doesn't look like he's going to be a huge problem. Okay? And on the back is your data card. Alright? But then again, these things are basically null and void right now because Death Guard's coming back. They're going to have all brand new things. And always go with the latest from GW. Alright? He comes on the big circle base, which is weird. I honestly thought he'd come on an oval shape for some reason. I guess I really haven't been paying that much attention when, like, Tycho from Play on Tabletop builds Morty all the time on the base size. But still, I think that's kind of interesting. I have an idea what I want to do for his base around the rocks with, like, a murky, sewery, kind of bubbly, weird, like, skulls in there kind of thing. Because I bought a pack of skulls to do with Angry Ron, but, yeah. Alright, here you go. So it comes on 2 sprues, okay? So there they are. And like with everything else Games Workshop puts out, hopefully you can see that there's numbers by every single piece, okay? So essentially, all you've got to do is follow along in your instruction book, like every other model, tank, plane, car, boat, whatever you've put together, and go by numbers. Clean as you go, dry fit before you glue, you're gonna be okay. I am excited to put this guy together. He is a reward for me after I finish some stuff for House Festivus. Those are my titans for Legio Imperialis and Adeptus Titanicus. That's my house, House Festivus. You know how the titans go roaring into war, screaming through the bullhorns? Well, that's the airing of the grievances. But still. So that's number one. I do like the fact that Morty comes with 2 faces. Right here. So that should be kind of cool. Oh, this is going to be fun. And these are the reasons why I'm thinking about sub-assemblies. His big old butterfly wings. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with them, but I want them to be kind of a diseased skin color, to be honest. I've seen people who've done these multicolored rainbow things with eyeballs on them and cosmic stuff, which I think are incredible, but that's so far out of my paint. Ow, bit my whip. So far out of my paint style, it's not even funny. Well, paint ability. Not style. I haven't tried them yet. Doesn't mean I can't, but I haven't tried them yet. It just looks fun. Now, why do I do kind of like these unboxing things? Because you could be intimidated looking at a box going, I don't know if I can do that. You can. Just go slow. If you've got to build bit by bit by bit, that's cool. I had to do that with Angry Ron. Alright? Angron and 40k is a pain in my ass to put together. I really should have done him in sub-assemblies, but I gave him to a friend. It's his frickin' problem now. I really wanted to paint all the Primarchs, but now that I'm seeing prices on some of those, and I can never ever bring myself to get Magnus the Red. By the way, Magnus did everything wrong. Just because you have good intentions and you screw up, doesn't mean it's good. says the diehard Space Wolf player since 2nd edition. But yeah, I've got so many ideas for what I want to do. And like I said, my initial struggle is, do I go with the modern green or the old school white? But those are the sprues. There's some big pieces in here. So trust me, once you start working, you're going to be able to find pieces a lot easier than I have on some Titans for Adeptus Titanicus. That's one of my problems with putting together some of those bigger miniatures is you get lost in the sprues. You really, truly do. But I like the fact that it's a Primarch I can kind of look at and go, I get you. Because his whole life, he wanted to be great. Like in the Buried Dagger, how he was killing monsters on the Plague World, and he was saving people. And Typhus just got to him and got him to convert with all his fear of failures and non-success and everything else. And the moment he went, okay, he just damned his entire legion in one word. Which I think is weird, because as far as I know, when everybody else fell, they were on their way down. You know, like the Thousand Sons were into sorcery and everything, and the Council of Nicaea kind of pissed them off. The Word Bearers were so far into the Word and Logar's corruption. Angron's guys, the Butcher Nails, combat, freeing themselves from the pain, I get it. But just everybody in one fell swoop, just boom, now you're corroded. Wow. All right. We're at the best part of the video for me. Seriously, we really, truly are. I love this part in every single video that I do, other than running my mouth for a while and trying to entertain you guys, okay? I want to know your questions, comments, love, hatred, anger, all that fun stuff down below. Matter of fact, if you're watching this and you've got a great opinion on a color scheme, let me know. Old school white or new school green? Well, new school pussy green. That's the only way I can put that, right? I'm torn because I like the look of that white, and it's real simple. It is so pathetically simple to do. Here you go. White primer, Seraphim sepia wash, done. Done. Oops, did I let a recipe get out there? Ooh. Anywho, I don't know. How do you feel about this miniature? How do you feel about the resurgence of the Death Guard? They've always been one of those that I looked at, but I don't really want to spend a lot of time painting flies. Matter of fact, for my Typhus, I didn't put the fly rack up on top. I just tossed it, and he had bony stuff coming out of his back. I mean, the Plague and the Corruption gives you a lot of great stuff that you can play around with colors and everything else. And that's one of the reasons I love this hobby so much. If you want to make your Death Guard pink and purple, you can do it. There's nothing out there that says you can't. Have fun in this hobby, and that's what it's supposed to be. But there I go, getting off on another. Yeah. Sorry, guys, but like I said, leave me those comments down below. How do you feel about the Death Guard? Have you put Morty together? Do you have any tips, tricks, whatever for painting them? Let me know down below. I figured it was time to pull the trigger with him sitting on my Amazon wish list forever. I just like his backstory. I think it's so awesome and so identifiable. You fell to chaos because of your fear of failure. Anywho. Alright. Now, the best way to support this channel is threefold, and it is so simple it's not even funny. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Helps the channel grow, helps the insanity, helps get it out to other people, and just, we as geeks band together, right? Well, geeks, nerds, whatever you want to call us, it's all the same. It's two heads of the same coin, right? Number 2 and 3 are real simple. Hit that thumbs up and drop me a silly comment down below for the algorithm. The thumbs up's going to help trigger that algorithm, and the silly comment's going to help trigger it. Every single channel lives and dies by that algorithm. So help us live. Don't put us in your Uncle Nurgle's garden. No contagion here. Now, of course, if my kids were around, they would have been laughing, going, that's scary daddy voice. But still. All right, there we go, guys. My quick, weird, kind of unboxing look at, the Plague Lord Mortarion. No, excuse me, the Demon Primarch of Nurgle. I can't call him a Plague Lord because that's something different. Anywho, I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Hopefully you're having a great day today. Hopefully you're having a safe day today. And Emperor willing, one day soon, we'll be rolling some dice across that tabletop.